Giving all praise and glory to Yahweh by Ahchyam Yahushai, by Ahchyam Kakadash, double honors to the elders of GMS. Also salutations to all the Ahchyam out there that's pushing this truth, and also shalom to the rest of the hopeful elect. And I think I'm going to title this, Consider This Ahchyam. And I think I'm going to add part of the article named People Are Disappearing. Consider that you can be one of the people that can disappear. I think everybody know the brother Mathathia down there in Iowa. But he used to always bring this up when he used to camp with us in Gary. You know, he always used to speak about, you know, what if you went to a brother's house and he wasn't there no more, you know? And he would paint out the scenario, you know, door kicked in, stuff around the house scattered, you know? Would you continue with the faith, you know? Would you get scared and run, you know? What would you do? Would you back up out of it? So I'm going to open up, you know, with this scripture right here. 1 Corinthians 13:7. Real quick. I'll start from 6. It says, rejoice not in iniquity, but rejoice in the truth. Bear all things, believeth all things, hopeth in all things, endure all things, right? So we're going to have to endure all things, all right? The things that's about to, you know, come upon this earth, you have to endure all those. Matter of fact, let me look up that word endure real quick. All right, the Greek hypomino, it says to tarry behind, remain. Oh, you see, remain in his faith. You see? It says to preserve under misfortunes, trials, hold fast to one's faith in Yahushai, to endure, bear bravely, calmly, ill treatments. You see? So, hey, you could be cast into prison, you know? Like it says, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. You know? That can be part of your lot. You know? Let's grab that too. Okay? This is a reality. All right? This ain't some fairy tale thing. They're doing this. That's why we always say, hey, some brothers, hey, you don't know what you signed up for. And let me say, they're going to do it to these Christians too. All right? Because what's that? I think it's Project Megiddo, right? Project Megiddo, it says anyone that believes on the second coming of Jesus Christ, right? Which we know his name is Yahushai, but I remember that bill when you read about Project Megiddo. It says anyone that believes on the second coming of Jesus Christ, right? I'm saying his name is Yahushai. They said, look, they coming for them too. You see? So look, these Christians, they so worried about us, right? But hey, Esau coming for them too. All right, we gonna see how much they actually believe, but what also we gonna see, hey, who actually believe amongst us. All right. Revelations 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. You see? But the point is what? You're going to get casted into prison. If that's part of your lot, you know. Of course, you know, who the hell wants to be cast into prison, you know? Who the hell wants that to be their lot, you know? But like Yahushua asked Peter, he said, are you able to drink of this cup? And Peter said, hey, I am. He said, yeah, and you surely will. You know? So this is a reality, you know? This is not no game. You know, if you thought it was a game, look around the world and see what's going on right now. Uproars of the people. All right? Talks about famine, World War III. This is not a fucking game. Then stuff like this. Let's read this article. People are disappearing since Trump took office. Here's what that means. The mother, but as a, hold on, let me see. I'll start from there. Last month, Fitzgerald D. Corneo Polger, an asylum seeker from Venezuela, was scheduled for a routine hearing in immigration court. But as Mother Jones reports, he never made it. Because he has been whisked off without due process to El Salvador's terrorism confined center. Look, see, that's what it's called. It's called terrorism, right? I remember years ago, me and me and the elder Demashapot did a lesson. Man, this might have been about 2012 or 14. We did, blacks and Latinos, are the new face of terrorism. Man, that video went up for more than 12 hours, man, before they took that mug down, man. But now we see where this situation is going. Okay. And these dummies that's call themselves protesting, they don't know. They're proving them right, or they're making them the face of terrorism. They're going to start calling this terroristic acts. And even what we teach, right? Guess what? They consider that a terroristic act. So look, you can end up in what? El Salvador's terrorism confinement center. See, this is a reality. Along with 230 Venezuelan immigrants, Cornel Polger, who has no known criminal history, and you know who's mainly there? Those MS-13 people, man. So even though you might not be a criminal, right? You don't even got no history of being a criminal. They will lock you up with hardcore criminals. If you watch any documentaries on MS-13, man, hey, them some crazy motherfuckers, man. I'm gonna put it like that. Watch a documentary on MS-13. I watched a couple. It says they have no criminal history in the United States or Venezuela. So look, they right, they ain't even send my man back to Venezuela. They just gonna send you to fucking El Salvador. All right? And was reportedly detained due to his tattoos. And that's what that nigga get too, man. Lord, see, you people, that's a damn rooster. Roostering. Right? Yeah, another you motherfuckers with these tattoos, man, mark up your body. Yeah. Esau's gonna put your ass in the camp. All right? That's against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. You see? It says, since President Donald Trump began to carry out what he claimed should be the largest deportation campaign in the U.S. history earlier this year, there have been a number of cases where immigrants like Cornejo Puja, when I might be pronouncing his name wrong, but whatever, have just disappeared. You see? So you can just get lost, man. Right? And that's where them stories come in, about, Peter being let out of prison, Apostle Paul being let out of prison. Hey, the Lord might have to come, your angel will have to come open those gates for you, man. Angel probably come in there and kill everybody and you walk out of there. That's where the faith come in. Hey, like it says, fear none of those things. What shall happen, It says, what is that? Did I even finish that? Let me read that part over again. The devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. Ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. All right, damn rooster. I just can't catch a break today, man, with all this noise. That's okay. Let me see. Fear. Right, so this is at the top. So like, if you're none of those things which thou shalt suffer, it's 2 and 10. For the devil shall cast some of you into prison. So hey, you shouldn't fit none of those things, man. You know, should lock you on that. Let me see. Let's go into that word fear too. It says to be struck with fear, to be seized with alarm of those startled by strange sights or occurrences. You see? So you're not supposed to, you know, fear those things. Of course, we're in the flesh, so you're gonna have a moment, you know. But hey, man, you gotta be like Apostle Paul. You know, when they told him not to go to Jerusalem, he said, "Hey, man, I'm willing to be bound and tied, you know, for Yahweh Shai." It says to fear, be afraid of, or hesitate to do something for fear of harm. Reference. See, but the thing with this, right? The Lord, he just put you in the camp, man. You don't got to be afraid, or I mean, he can put you in the situation where you can hesitate, you know. But hell, when somebody got you by both of your arms and both of your legs, man, you know, and you being forced, hey, man, that's really out of your hands. Now your hands is, you know, now your life is in the hands of the Lord. Yahweh Ahchyam Yahweh Shai, man. Okay. But when that time come, you know, you shouldn't be shaking. Let's grab, hold on. Right? Because let's go to the book of Mark. It speaks about, you know, when affliction rise, you know. 1 second. Now, usually I do my videos in my car or whatever, you know, but it's a nice day. And I don't want to sit in my damn car, but I see why now. Got these motherfuckers, man, fucking chickens and dogs and people. The other side of the park I was sitting at, literally a bunch of slow people got out this goddamn minivan. Literally slow. You know, I guess they was on a field trip or something. And came up. I'm like, man, what the hell? You know, I'm gonna get right to the point. Try to. It says, I'm just gonna get right to it. And they have no root in themselves and endure but for a time. And afterward, when the affliction or persecution arises for the word's sake, immediately they are offended, right? Which means what? The individual is going to fall out, man. You know? And these are they which are sown among the thorns, such as, hear the word. It says, in the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches and the lusts of other things entering in, choke the word and it becometh unfruitful. Right, but the point was right here, though. You know, it's important for you to, you know, to be rooted. You know, like it says, like Apostle Paul said. He said, you know, rooted, grounded in the faith. It says, read it over again, and have no root in themselves, and shall endure but for a time, and afterward, when affliction or persecution arises for the word's sake, immediately they are offended, right? Which you know, in that day, if you're ashamed or you're offended, okay, you're not gonna hold on. You know, you're gonna fall out the truth. You know, because why? You're not rooted in the faith. But also, when you go into that chapter, it's going into the, you know, the process of somebody coming into the faith. But I'm just using that, you know, as somebody can easily get offended or turn their back on Yahweh Ahchyam Yahweh Shai. And being not rooted, hey, they can, you know, get shook up from those things and be like, look, man, I don't want no part of this. Matter of fact, let's see what that says. All right, the word offended, it says to cause a person, this is the Greek, to put a stumbling block or impediment in a way upon another, may trip or fall, metaphorically to offend, to entice with sin. See, so that's another thing, right? What can you might be offended, or and you might take that chip, like, you know what, hey, this ain't for me. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take that chip, man. Metaphorically to offend, to entice, to cause a person to begin to distrust. Because why? It's too much for them. You see? Right? But you know what? That's kind of spiritual. Because what it says what? And the cock crew. When Yahweh Shai got arrested. You see? Look at that. Just to point that out. It says, to the desert one whom he ought to trust and obey. Listen to this: to cause to fall away, to be offended in one, to see in another what I disapprove of and what hinders me from acknowledging. But there you go, to fall away. You see, because why? You're not rooted, right? That's why it's written. Let's see. Let's grab that scriptures. It says scriptures. Colossians 2 and 7. It says, rooted and built up in him and established in the faith. See, and that's where you want to be at. Rooted and built up in him. Matter of fact, hold on, let's hold on to that. That might not be the one that I wanted. I think it was Ephesians, right? But that one's good too. Goddamn bugs is getting on my nerves. Ephesians 3 and 7. I said Ephesians. Colossians 2 and 7. As ye ask, therefore, receive Yahweh Shai Mashiach the Lord, that ye walk in him, right? So that's what this is about, all right? What it mean by walking him, all right? Obeying him, doing what it takes to finish this, okay? Rooted and built up in him, established in the faith, as ye have been taught, right? And that's what the apostles have been teaching us, man. Got to be grounded in that day, Build up your faith. Pray. Fast. It says, abound therein with thanksgiving. Okay? Now I'm going to grab one more scripture. Then I'm going to get up out of here. And if I got to read a little bit more of this real quick. It says, let's read this. In January, Ricardo Prado Vasquez, a Venezuelan man working a delivery job picking up food at McDonald's in Detroit, Michigan, was disappeared to El Salvador after taking a wrong turn in Canada. God damn. See? Ricardo's story by itself is incredibly tragic, and we don't know how many Ricardos there are. Ben Levy, a staff attorney with National Immigrant Justice Center, who tried to locate Prado Vasquez, told the New York Times immigrations and customs enforcement officials ultimately confirmed to Levy that the 32-year-old had been deported, but did not divulge his destination. After the abductions, families of men like Prado Vasquez searched, but the names of their loved ones disappeared from the U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement's online detainment locator. Could what's happening to immigrants under Trump be classified as enforced disappearance? We spoke with academics and researchers who study how rogue the states appear, people. First, what does it mean to disappear a person? According to the United States, enforced disappearance occurs when agents of the state or groups acting with authorization and support, arrest, detain, abduct, in any other way to deprive a person from their liberty, The state then refuses to disclose their fate and whereabouts of the person concerned. If you're wondering whether this is legal or illegal, it's actually neither. Oh man, look at that. So there's really not even a law on it. Okay, I'm back. There's one more scripture that I wanted with this. You know, some reason the video clicked off, which it never does that. So, whatever. Just Satan, man. All right, this is Luke. It says Luke 10, and I'll start from 26. If any man come to me and hate not his father, mother, wife, and children, brethren and sisters, yea, his own life, he cannot be my disciple. And whosoever doeth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. All right. And another thing, when you look up that word hate, it means to love less. All right. Which means what? You know, you probably won't deal with your family like you used to. All right. Then it says, and whosoever doeth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. Right. So like I was going into earlier, the first scripture, you know, where it says what, endure for all things. Guess what? This is part of what enduring all things. All right, it's what, bearing that cross. And that's part of bearing the cross. You could disappear. For which of you intended to build a tower sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it? All right. Unless happily after he have laid the foundation and is not able to finish it all, and that behold, it begin to mock him. Or yeah, so the angels is gonna mock you, man. You know, they gonna mock you. All right, because you didn't finish your course. It says, saying this man began to build and was not able to finish. Right, which means what, man? All right, you supposed to know what you're into, okay? And possibly these kind of things can happen to you. Or what king going to make war against another king sitteth not down first and consulteth whether he be able with 10,000 to meet him that cometh against him with 20,000? Look, and you can look that, because we're kings, man, right? And right now we telling Esau, look, man, two kings can't sit on one throne, man. Or we telling one king, all right, Esau, look, you're going down. All right. Hey, it's a consequence behind that, right? It's written in Matthew, hey, you should go before kings and princes, you know, and nobles. The book of Isaiah say, go into the gates of the nobles, or else while other is yet a great way off, he sendeth in a passage and desireth conditions of peace. So likewise, whosoever be of you that forsaketh not all that he have, he cannot be my disciple, right? And that's the end of that, man. But it goes into what? Counting the cost. Know what you're a part of, man. So with that, I'm going to give all praise and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders of GMS. Also salutations to all the Ahchyam out there that's pushing this truth. And also shalom to the rest of the hopeful elect. Peace.